Okay, I'm with Andrew Cease. It is September 25th, 2013. First, could you just explain, what you're doing right now?
Coming from Italy by foot and trying to walk around the world. Yeah, it's been over a year on the road. I'm 3 days behind on the journal now because we had you come. But I'm going to catch up tonight because I'll be by myself. I think stay 450.
And how old are you?
20. I'm 23 years old.
Okay, so essentially you don't walk. Can you explain the rules that you follow?
Yeah, my rule is for the walking rules for myself is just to start wherever I left off. So if I camp somewhere and then all of a sudden at night someone comes and says, "Oh, like come to my house" or something like that. It's like right over the hill, and they drive me to their house and then they drive me back to my tent. It's fine with me, just as long as I keep walking from where I left off. Or if I get to a city, if I walk to someone's house and then I spent a few days in the city, I'll take whatever transportation I want while I'm there. But then when I leave, I keep walking from wherever I left off.
How accurate is that?
100%.
By the foot?
Yeah.
By the inch?
Never once. Let's hope by cars.
Anything bad happen?
A fox came. I don't think it was so dangerous, but it scared me a little bit at night. He was stealing my shit. and some howling of the coyotes or jackals or whatever they call them in Kazakhstan. And we always just, I just kind of hope hope nothing happens. I hope they're not they don't want to eat me. But people would warn me about them and warn me about wolves especially, and so I was always a little bit unsure, even though I'd heard from other people that it shouldn't be a problem. I've read that you shouldn't be afraid of wolves. They're more afraid of you than you are of them. And people would always warn me like, "Oh, Volk, Kasker," and they were, as a warning, like, "What are you gonna do? Like, do you have a gun? Like, pistol, varma?" And they say, like, yeah. Sometimes they say like, "Yeah, I got 2 pistols, iki pistol," or just say like, I am a wolf," so I'm not worried. But I was a little bit worried. But in the end, it was all good for that wolf situation. Yeah, I got sick. A bunch of times just from I think the water, the food, and the stress even.
How are your feet feeling?
Feet are feeling good. Yeah.
What is it that makes you have to keep going? I mean,
I'm just really stubborn, and really, it's like a combination, I think, of like stubbornness and just stupidity, like more stubbornness than stupid.
So you just woke up one day and said, "Hey, I'm gonna go run around the world," and that's the end of it?
Not so much like that. It was, I thought it out. I thought it out a lot. I thought about it quite often before I really said it. Same with the bicycle trip and same with the canoe trip. Like, I think about things quite a lot before I'm gonna say it, because I don't want to say something and then not do it, because then your word is just worthless. So once I made the decision and said I was going to do it, there's no backing out. Because I know because it's based on a lot of thought of, just what I think is a good, will be good for my life and good for other people and just good for the universe. So it's all love and gratitude. I love it.
So how many shoes have you gone throughout this one specific trip?
I'm on pair number 3 right now. This pair that I got, I just started wearing them 1,000 miles ago, so not very far. And so, I hope they'll get me to Beijing, and then Korea and Japan, and then maybe in the U.S. I'll get another pair, maybe one or 1.5 pairs across the U.S. So probably like 2 more pairs or 3 more pairs, I would say.
You plan on running around the whole entire globe. You want to go from
Yeah, basically, yeah. But I like to go around without motors, so a sailboat around the oceans if possible, and then walking across all the land until I go around, around the world. It's gonna be all pretty much in the northern. It's all in the northern hemisphere, so it's not right at the equator, but roads. There's not like a road around the equator, so you can't do that.
how long have you been traveling?
Been traveling for about since I was 18, so it's like 5 years now, or 6 years, almost 6 years, I guess. Started with flying to Venezuela and then working and traveling, busing, hitchhiking, sailing from there to Mexico when I was 18 and 19. That was kind of a preparation. Like I intentionally did that to learn Spanish and to see kind of if it was even possible to bicycle down. Because my dream was to bicycle down to Argentina. And so on that trip I learned that it was possible. I'd met other cyclists, very few, but like a couple other cyclists who were biking from U.S. to Central America. I didn't meet any that were going all the way to Argentina, but to Central America at least I met a few, and they gave me kind of confidence, like, okay, it's possible. Like, and also I spoke Spanish then, and I felt more confident about that, and I knew like there's roads everywhere, it's asphalt, it's not so confusing, I can read the signs, it shouldn't be a problem. So then when I was 19, bicycled down from Minnesota to Ushuaia, and then worked there for a while, like in a bakery for 4 months, and then got a ride up with a friend of mine in Argentina. He and I and his family drove all the way up to northern Argentina, like the border with Brazil, and then I just got back on my bike and biked home from Argentina, but up the coast of Brazil instead, so the opposite coast, and then so then the Mississippi River after that when I was 21, and then now this one.
What do you average every day, usually?
Usually like 50 or 60.
So how many miles is that for everyone that is in the United States?
50 or 60 kilometers, so like 30, 35 miles or something.
How often do you take a break?
I mean, just to eat a little bit. I don't really take so many breaks during the day because I like to take advantage of the sun. The nighttime is my break, and when it's time to sleep, I have no energy left. I just pass out, pitch my tent. I barely have enough energy to write in the journal, which I've kept, and definitely don't have enough energy to cook anything, so I just fall asleep pretty quick. It's the only thing I can imagine happening that would stop me from finishing. It would just be to die, yeah. Or I guess, if there was a problem, if like someone got sick at home. I mean, knock on wood, that doesn't happen, but knock on rock. But I would have to leave, I think, and figure something out. But I would come back and finish. I have to. Come too far not to, I think.
So what's next? What after you're done? Is it? You have any ideas?
Yeah, everyone asks me that, and it's always like everyone asks me all the time, like what I'm doing. I feel like my life is questioned like more than anyone else's. At least, more than anyone else I know. But constantly people are like, what are you doing and why are you doing it? What are you doing? Why? What? Why? Why? Like every day I have to answer that like 10 times. And sometimes it wears out, it wears on me just constantly answering, like, explaining myself, having to, like, explain yourself. And a lot of people really like it, but then other people are just like, what? why don't, like, you don't get paid to do this? Like, why would you waste your time doing this? And so sometimes that's tiring, but I think, and I don't want to think too far ahead still, because I think I've got another couple years of walking a road ahead of me, so I'm not going to make a firm decision, but I think I'd like to canoe the Amazon River, and get back to South America. But I'd also, there's other things in mind. But I think that's probably the thing that I'll do next, Amazon River.
So anyone that would want to do this, or someone that would want to travel that hasn't, would you say to them? Do you have anything that you would say to someone that wants to do something similar to what you're doing?
Yeah, I say if you want to, go for it. It's the most important thing is just I think, to know that you can, and you gotta be ready for some tough nights. But everyone uses the excuse of money, and they can't do it because they don't have any money. But really, you don't even need money to travel. Like, we proved that on the Mississippi River trip. We went 3 months and didn't end up losing any money or spending any money from the savings at all, because it was just food from the trash or food that people gave us without asking for it, and then a little bit of violin on the side, but for not very much, and that's enough. You got by to see more places and meet new people, and kind of put myself in a vulnerable position of, and not knowing what's gonna happen, and really I'm dependent so much on the people being good to me, and they have been. So the world is good. I wouldn't be afraid of it.